Judas Priest are finally doing it!
Do it to me now!
For the first time in roughly gazillion years, the metal gods are about to sit down and set all the records straight in a new documentary, which has been given a very interesting title.
Can you believe that?
So today let's take a look at everything you might want to know about the new Judas Priest movie, and a little bit more. Here you go. Guys, super quick, as always, please do not hesitate to comment on anything you hear or see in this video, and especially if you disagree with me, because the whole point of our Defenders of the Faith series is, of course, to start a conversation. But alright, let's do it. First of all, the most important thing, what is actually going on? Sony Music Vision has just announced the production of a brand new official Judas Priest documentary titled The Ballad of Judas Priest. And here right away, I just have to point out that this actually might be the best possible name one could think of for a Judas Priest documentary. As in case you didn't catch that, it is a clever nod to Bob Dylan's The Ballad of Frankie Lee and Judas Priest, the very song which originally inspired the band's name back in the late 1960s. Now, the documentary itself, which by the way, despite what everyone has been posting online, is 100% finished already. And yes, it is confirmed, and it's not going to be just some casual compilation of live footage and rare interviews. It is a full-scale production, created by the Emmy and Peabody winning team at Banger Films, the same crew behind Metal Evolution, Iron Maiden Flight 666, and Rush Beyond the Lighted Stage. So basically some of the best metal documentaries out there.
Yes, that's true.
And even more excited, it's being co-directed by Sam Dunn, the veteran in the metal documentaries, and Tom Morello of Rage Against the Machine, who will be doing his directorial debut with this film. And according to the band, this is going to be the most unfiltered and honest look at their career yet. We have lived and breathed metal for over 5 decades, and finally, in this documentary, we're summoning our congregation to officially witness our lives uncensored in a never-before-seen way. The cassock comes off, revealing Priest in all its metal glory. And if this doesn't give you, a Judas Priest fan, shivers, I honestly don't know what will. Overall, the film promises to follow the band's entire 50-plus year journey, from working-class Birmingham roots to becoming one of the most defining forces in heavy metal worldwide. And yes, it's been made with full access to band's entire dungeon, including their archives and inner circle. So yeah, I guess we are expecting quite a lot of interesting things, which may finally shine some light on some of the darker parts of the Judas Priest history, which to this very day still remain unknown for all of us Judas Priest fans. Now, you might be wondering, hasn't Judas Priest been covered in documentaries before? Like gazillion times? Well, yes and no. First of all, yes, it is true, there were a lot of documentaries made about Judas Priest throughout the years, and many of those were even sanctioned by the band themselves. The 1992 Dream Deceivers, the early 2000s VH1 Behind the Music, and of course the legendary heavy metal Parking Lot, just to name a few.
When you feel safe! When you feel war! That's when they rise! Priest is bad, man! Priest is #1 in heavy metal, man! Priest! 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 Alright.
And talking about the official ones, back in 2010 we got the making of British Steel for the album's 30th anniversary. The Reunited documentary focused specifically on the reunion tour of Judas Priest with Rob Halford. And of course the legendary Metal Works, which was pretty much the compilation of interviews telling the story of the metal gods, which I guess is the closest to what we are going to get this time. But the problem with it is that it was released all the way back almost 30 years ago. Yes, it's been almost 30 years now, and I think everyone can agree that quite a lot has changed within Judas Priest and in its family circle since then. But most importantly, it looks like this time around, this documentary is going to be much less filtered than anything we've seen from the band before. As even Tom Morello in his statement said that he's beyond grateful to the band for allowing them such intimate, unfiltered access to their lives. So it looks like, or at least I rather hope so, because yes, I've known about this documentary for quite a while now, but in all honesty, I haven't watched it yet. That this film is not going to be yet another cookie cutter in the world of rock and metal documentaries, just to be able to sell the band's next album better, but rather a raw and honest story which will include something we die-hard Judas Priest fans haven't really heard before. And given the fact that this is the same studio which stood behind some of the best documentaries in the genre, I for some reason have absolutely zero doubts that it will give us exactly what we look for. Now, what's rather important to point out is that the fake news of a Judas Priest documentary have actually been circulating online for about a year now. But I still want to reiterate that all of those posts online that a Judas Priest documentary coming to Netflix later this year were actually fake. And even with this one, there is still no confirmation that it will be streamed either on Netflix, Amazon Prime, or any other streaming platform. And according to my knowledge, Judas Priest, Sam Dunn, and Tom Morello have already finished working on it, yet neither Sony Music Entertainment nor anybody else at this point have any confirmation about where it will be available and how it will be distributed to the masses. So until you hear it from Judas Priest themselves, or at least from this YouTube channel, please refrain from getting excited about a Netflix debut this August.
I just don't want you to lie to me. I don't want you to ever lie to me. Have I ever lied to you?
Yeah.
I just don't want you to.
Another elephant in the room, which at this point I feel like kind of has to be addressed, is the whole fact that this documentary will be co-directed by Tom Morello. As at least to me, it is kind of interesting how Tom, after being a musician himself, and a rather successful one, is kind of now transitioning into a new amplitude and becoming more and more of a voice for the legends of the early days of heavy metal. As just a reminder that in addition to being a huge Judas Priest fan, like I assume everyone here is, Tom is also currently responsible for the Black Sabbath reunion show and is directing pretty much everything that we will see this July 5th. And given the whole fact that it is pretty much confirmed at this stage that Rage Against the Machine is done as a band forever. Although I never really was a fan of this band, it's really interesting to see that Tom is now transferring his passion for music into an absolutely new direction. And I kind of feel like these Black Sabbath and Judas Priest productions are just his first steps, although pretty gigantic ones, of course. And we will hear more about similar projects from him in the nearest future. But anyways, what do you guys personally think about the Ballad of Judas Priest, and what do you personally hope the band will cover in this documentary? Please let us know in the comments. As always, thank you so much for watching this short video, guys, and I promise you that the moment I can share more information about this documentary, it will be on this channel. But for now, thank you so much for watching this video, guys, and we will prevail. Slava Ukraini!